on, you guys? This is Hyperion-Blue-GT for this week's daily race on Gran Turismo Sport. An N200 race is going to be at Sardegna Road Track A by using the Subaru BRZ and the Toyota 86 GT for a one-make race challenge. A Group 3 race is going to be at Circuit de Santa Clarix Course B layout for 3 laps, so it's going to get everything will be faster to be able to get ready for one good Group 3 race. And lastly, the Group 1 race is going to be at Fuji International Speedway for 14 laps. So this is going to get everything will go faster to be able to get started out for. So let's begin with the N200 race at Sardegna Road Track A. So this is going to be able to get ready to use the Toyota 86 GT or the Subaru BRZ. So this is going to get everything will be ready to go for this race. So this is going to get everything has to be started out for. So just going to go with the Toyota 86 GT by using the pure red color. So this is going to be able to have the balance of performance I recommend to be able to get started. So before enjoying watching the video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out some more videos if you like. Feel free to enjoy it anytime you want for one good entertainment. So let's go and get ready for one excellent one-make race to begin. So this is going to get everything will be started out to be able to have a one good showdown race between the Subaru BRZ and the Toyota 86 GT. It's now going to be good to go to get ready for this race. So looks like this is going to get everything will be done to be able to have the first part of this race. So maybe just going to be able to make sure, because this is going to be able to get ready to be able to get started for a warm-up. But well, let's do it. So let's just going to get prepared, because this is going to need to take a lot of time that this is going to get ready. So just going to be able to take a lineup to be able to go out onto the pits. Is going to be able to get ready. So every time that this is going to be able to make sure, because this might be able to do a lot of clean race, because we will always do the best we can, because it's going to be able to take a lot of rough turns that this is going to need to take, because it's going to get everything will be able to do passively that this is going to get everything will go in. Now this is going to be able to give only one example tip, that this is going to be able to use the Toyota 86 GT and the Subaru BRZ is going to be able to race on Sardegna Road Track A. But despite for all the respect that we would all do, because it's going to get everything needs to be able to keep it well maintained on it. So try not to get any reported after the race. So we will have to see that this one might be able to do our best, because every race will always have driver ratings is now definitely might be needed to be able to go there. So let's just gonna go and get started for this race. So let's go and get prepared. Now this is going to be able to make sure, because this is going to be able to take for one good clean race for the balanced opportunity that this is going to need to take. So this is going to get everything will be ready to go. Do the best behavior you can, folks, during this one-make race. It's going to get very prepared to be able to take a lot of skills that this is going to need to take, because it might be able to take for plenty of oversteer turns it's going to go in. Now, let's just going to do for one good clean race moment, because there's going to be able to make sure that things will always going to be very prepared to be very precisely to be able to go exercise caution. But we might try everything that this is going to need to take a lot of skills, so it might be able to give some few spaces that this is going to be able to go on the opening. But sometimes it also to be able to have on any players that might be able to have a mistake that might be made. But try not to go negative on this one, because it always might be able to have a matter of time that this is all about racing love and hope, but it's all about taking the challenges that we might be able to get prepared for. So that turn that we're about to be able to go in, so it might be able to stop at the 50 marker board. That's going to be our main cue that this is going to get everything will be ready. So it might make sure, because this is going to be able to take a lot of skills that this is going to need to catch up on this one. Well, evenly, that's despite for the only fact that this is going to get everything has to go on for. because it will also to be able to do for one directional moment that this is going to need to take. So let's just going to try and keep up on this one, because this is going to be able to take for only 3 laps around the track that this is going to be able to go in. Now let's just going to keep going until this is going to might need to take a lot of turns of the method. It's going to get everything has to do it, but everything needs to take a lot of skillful chances to be made, but it might be able to do the best. So here goes that last part of the turn, because this might be able to let you guys know, because try not to get slammed in onto the rear whenever they're coming in, because it's going to be quite very harder ways to be able to go in before taking the full stretch, because it gets very roughly that this is going to need to take a lot of usual skills, but it might need to take a lot of effort skills if we have to be able to make sure to keep it well concentrated. But otherwise, that this is going to need to do whenever we can, because it's going to be getting longer, that this is going to be able to take plenty hard turns to be able to go in. But it is going to be pretty hard that if we have to be able to be very respectful and be very positive for giving the moments of this race, because it might be able to do for a lot of fast turns during the time of the segment that this is going to need to go in. Now, just going to have to take that turn, going to be able to press forward. So luckily on 4th place that this is going to be able to go in. Now, let's just going to have to keep going. So nothing else, don't want to have the racing drama going on that this is going to need to take on for. So that might be able to have the safer inside turns when we reached up at the 50 marker board. It's going to get everything has to be much possible ways to go in. But it's going to need to take a lot of time, that this is going to need to take a lot of speed to be able to race up on the draft that this is going to be able to go in. But it's going to be able to get closer, so it's going to be able to have to take a lot of effort ways to be able to go in. Just going to have to keep pushing until this is going to be able to take plenty moderate turns. It is going to get everything valiantly that this might be able to go in. But it might do fine, folks, but we have to be able to be very careful not to hit on any opponents, because it's going to get reported roughly on this one, because it needs to be able to make sure, because this is going to be able to have that turn to be able to go at the last part of the corner. Might go straight in onto the next lap. So be careful whenever you're trying to do your best, because it might get immediately for having a decreased SR or a penalty will be occur. So just going to be able to have to be very nicely to any drivers to be able to make sure. So it is going to be able to take a lot of faster work. Might be able to catch up. Now moving on in onto the 3rd and final lap. This is going to get everything has to do it, folks. This might be able to do well possible to be able to catch up, because it's going to be able to take a lot of turns that this is going to need to speed up on it. It might get through, so it might be able to do the best we can, because it takes a lot of clean race for only 2 JDM sports cars of the 2015 model. It definitely might be able to take on in the Italian racetrack that this is going to be able to have a 1-course layout by the full track. Is going to be able to go there, because it might be able to do excellent skills that this is going to need to take. It might be able to go passive. Now, it's going to need to take a little bit catching up to do. It might be able to go in. Might be able to have a 1 driver rating increase that this is going to need to take. So, luckily that this is going to be able to, despite for the fact that this is going to need to take plenty clean turns as always we need to get, because it always having another time for another one-leg race between 2 cars is going to get very spectacle made, that to be able to have a 1 good series challenge is going to be able to go in to be very simple. Now, just going to be able to take the racing right thing to do, because it's going to get very roughly to be able to have this turn before approaching in onto the last corner. It's going to be quite very hard to get. So just going to be able to make sure that be careful when you're hitting it, because it might be able to have a hard time to be able to have many mistakes to be made. So just going to be able to go for taking a little bit more time. So despite for the fact, just be very careful and have a nice time in the race for this week on this challenge. For this race is going to be quite very neat to be able to have a skillful set of challenges that this is going to be able to be made. So despite for the only fact is because it's going to need to do a lot of work to be able to race on the course A on Sardegna road track is going to be very challenging. We have to do it because we need to be able to make sure, because this is going to be a very showdown race, to be able to have a lot of clean racing skills we can get, because it's going to get very hard to do it, because we need to be able to make sure to be very respectful during the time of the race in the lobby. But luckily, this is going to need to be able to take a lot of practice whenever we can, because it might be able to have a 1-star for a clean race that this is going to get everything what we need to do. Because it might be able to do for only 2 cars for 1 race in the lobby, that this is going to get everything going. Now, looks like daily workout has already been completed, so this is going to be able to do for very good faster moments at this time for the race. So, well, it might be able to needs to do a lot of sportsmanship rating, because it might need to do a lot of passive skills that we need to keep up on it, because it is going to get everything what we need to do. So be respectful during this time of this race, folks, because we might need to do a lot of practice to be able to race on the road track A layout of Sardegna. It's going to get everything going. So time for the Subaru BRZ for the next round. So this is going to get ready to go. To be ready to go for the next round. So this is going to get everything will be going in to do it, folks. Now this is going to be able to have another round that this is going to be able to have a determined balance between 6v6 or 5v6, or probably everything else that this is going to get everything has to be properly in order. Now let's just gonna go and get ready for this race. So just gonna get prepared for this one. So this is gonna need to take a lot of practice that we will always do the best, because it's gonna be able to be ready for this round for every time in the race. Because good thing that taking a 1-week break off until we are about to be able to continuing on to the exhibitations of the Manufacturer Series and the Nations Cup. So this is gonna get everything has to be prepared to do plenty of moments that this is going to get everything will be ready. So good thing that everybody is taking a lot of practice, that this is going to get everything will be able to move on to the next round. Now let's just going to be able to have to take for the second attempt that this is going to be able to go for another round of the 1-make race showdown. So good thing that we're about to be able to get ready to get started out for. So with all due respect, we're taking a lot of plenty efforts for having a time moments of this race. So let's just gonna go and get ready for this one. So let's just gonna go and let's just gonna have a good race, and then we will be ready for this one, folks, because this is gonna get everything what we have to do, folks, because we will always do our best, because it's gonna get everything has to challenge ourselves if we have to do it, because this is gonna need to do a lot of racing skills will be prepared. Now this is going to get everything to be able to do as the usual ways that this is going to be able to go in for. So for this part of the segment, this is going to be able to have no longer practice. So this is all about taking a race. We'll always begin. Might be able to get ready for this one. Now just going to be able to take a lot of effort skills that this is going to get everything going in. So starting out on 8th place, that this is going to get everything has to be prepared for. So looks like I have to be able to pass many opponents as possible to be able to do for a lot of clean racing skills to be able to go in. Now it might be able to do consistently, that this is going to be able to keep our eyes on the SR whenever it's going to be decreasing on the orange, because this is going to get everything has to go in. Now, what we have to do, because it's going to get very steady concentrated, that this is going to need to take on for, because it might be able to make a lot of risk if we have to do it, because this is going to be a tough one. So we have to be very careful, that we have to be very respectful to each other during this time of the race. And this is what we have to do for taking a one-make race during this time of the practice. It might be able to take a hard time effort, that this is going to get everything has to press forward, that we have to be able to step up and keep going faster, because it's going to get everything needs to do a lot of focus during the time of the race, because since we're about to be able to keep moving on to be able to take plenty more time with this race, that this is going to get everything has to do it. But right now, this is going to be able to do well, that this is going to be able to take the challenge by using the Subaru BRZ. We might be able to catch up onto the Toyota 86 GT. It is going to get everything. We'll do it by the simple ways to keep everything going in for, just as the usual. So it might be able to try to catch up, because it's going to get everything to take plenty of hard work to be able to perform the last turn. It's going to get very usual that if we have to be able to keep it well steady and well behaved if we have to do it. Now, luckily that this is going to be able to have a penalty to be shown, so we have to be very careful if we don't want to take any mistakes if we can, but it always happens every time, so we have to be able to learn to be very careful if we have to be able to keep it well concentrated, that this is going to be able to keep the skills, that this is going to be able to go in by the effect in. Okay, looks like there goes that flag going on for this one. This can't be good. Okay, looks like Surprise Me 34 is losing it. Wow, can't believe he's back to normal, but oh boy, looks like here it goes again, folks. Looks like he's losing it. Don't want to get anything to get slammed or whenever it comes. We have to be very careful whenever it happens. Don't lose yourself, Surprise Me 34. We just need you to be back on the current position in a good condition. That definitely might be the sign of a concern that this is going to be going on. Okay, looks like that was a hard thing to do. Looks like deja vu all over again, just like on Tokyo Expressway Central. Well, that might be able to see how every time that there might be a lag going on for, so it'll be able to have to take a little quick fix to be able to do it, but it's already did, but no problems by now. Just gonna have to keep up on that turn, because this is gonna need to take the usual practice to be able to do it. So folks, every time during the race, whenever you see a lag going on, because, well, we just don't like spike lag, that might be bother us every time during this part, because it is going to be able to solving up the issue. So we have to be able to do whatever we can, but with all due respect, because this is going to be able to take a lot of good clean racing skills, so we just really don't want to get hit by the lag problem, but it is going to get everything to be much as possible to do it. So this is definitely might be the last time that we just raced on Tokyo Expressway by using the two cars by the same. So, well, it is definitely might be happening in a different way, but this is going to be able to do everything as possible to be able to keep up on it. So here we go. This is going to be able to do for a final lap of the race. So this is going to get everything has to be pressed forward. I hope Surprise Me 34 is back to normal, so he can probably able to race for good quality again, because this is going to be able to have the time. So hope this is going to be able to do perfectly, and there it goes again. Well, looks like everything did pretty well for one good quality race, but evenly that it happens every time, so we had to be able to have to race well, so we had to be able to achieve the success. it's going to be able to take that turn, just make it nice and slow. So it will might be able to do perfectly, will also to give a good technique. Well, after this race, so this is going to be able to take a little bit more time, that this is going to get everything has to be wrapping up on this one. So it will might be able to do better if we had to be able to take a good race for a good, better quality check, that this is going to get everything has to go in. Because we will always do the best we can, that we will always keep on racing, we'll stay clean and stay passive. It is going to be able to have a lot of usual skills that we will always to keep up. Now, just going to be able to make sure, because before going in onto the last turn, so try to be careful whenever you're going in for the overtake. Try not to get slammed in onto the rear. That wheel might get pulled off the track, because that wheel might have a penalty to be able to be received for a reminder check. So this is going to be able to do everything, that this is going to be able to giving us an important tip. Just give everything for having a one good racing important tip during the one make race for a 1-2 car showdown. Is going to get everything has to get prepared to do it. So that might be making easily that this is going to be able to go for one good clean race, that this is going to get everything will be quite much better we can. So this is going to be quite good to be able to take a good race by just finishing up on 6th place. So that was very good to take 3 positions to be went up on it. So that was pretty excellent and a good work for taking a lot of good usual skill racing moment we'll always have. And now this is going to be able to take 6th place earnings. Then this is going to get very excellent to be able to do whenever we can, because it's going to be able to get nearly closer, that we will always to be able to take a lot of good clean racing skills. We'll always to go for one moderation if we had to be able to keep up and do the best we can. So we did good racing on in Sardegna Road Track A with a excellent good clean racing skills by using the Toyota 86 GT and the Subaru BRZ. So this is going to be quite very good to get ready for this week of this one make race. So taking the best clean turns is going to be much possible if we can, but in the last part of the turn corner it's going to be very difficult, so we have to be able to make it nice and slow, or try not to get full contact on the opponents, that this is going to be able to have a decreased SR or a penalty to be received as a little reminder to be able to proceed on to the next and final lap. So do the best we can, because it will might need to take a lot of practice before we will get started for the race. So be sure that before approaching in onto the last turn, just make it nice and slow and proceed without any mistakes to be needed for. So we will always try to do the best we can, that this is going to be a very good challenge. We will always do the best as always. Alright folks, glad that you really enjoyed this race. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and bell for notification uploads, and the links on the description down below if you want to see more. I'll be seeing you guys next time for continuing on the daily race on Gran Turismo Sport, and I'll see you guys later. Keep on racing, stay cool.